Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing a double 8.5 by 11 layout. This is for Spiegelmom Scraps and it is for the design team. You can use my code Jennifer15 to save 15% on any of the sequins in the shop. I'm showing you a close to my heart workshop example of a layout. That's actually not the layout I'm going to make. I was just showing what they did with the cut file that I'm going to show here in a minute. I'm actually using a sketch from Miranda Webber, and I will have all of her information down below. It is a paid sketch, so I'm not going to show it um, on the channel, but I will explain kind of sort of what the sketch looks like and what I was going for. I added a lot more to the sketch than what Miranda actually has in the sketch. The sketch was very simple. So there's the sequin mixes that I'm going to use for right now, which is Shoreline and Peach Fizz. This is Inky Dinky Doo, but Inky Dinky Doo actually doesn't make it on the layout. I end up bringing in Excape Artist, which is the same one that I used on yesterday's layout. So these are the same photos that are not the same photos, but from the same day when we went up to Pikes Peak in Colorado. So here I'm showing you the sticker sheet. As you can see, it's still filled. Obviously, I created this layout before I created the 11 by 8.5 layout that I showed yesterday. Um, these pieces here are from the workshop kit. They don't make it on the layout. Actually, all the embellishments that I'm going to show right here made it on yesterday's layout, so obviously they're not going to make it on today's layout. Except for the title pieces, which is Let's Go. And those aren't going to make it on the layout. And then the background papers, I'm actually going to change out here in a moment. I haven't decided to change them out just yet. This is what I initially went with, and then I will come back in and show you the papers that I change out to instead because I go a different direction. And that was just color wise. The colors just weren't working for me. It was too much tan and just blue and not enough of the orangey color, which that orange color I did have in like a cardstock, but since I ended up not using the pieces from the workshop, I decided to add in an Echo Park piece of paper from their new travel collection. So I'm going to do some metal dies, which are the clouds there, and I brought in some scrap paper that I had from Close to My Heart, and then wood veneer pieces from Some Assemblage Required, which actually don't make it on this layout. Again, they made it on yesterday's layout instead. Um, so here I'm showing you the cut file, which I kind of already have backed, and I was getting ready to do it, and that's how I knew that, I needed to change out the papers. I just wasn't liking it. So I'm going to slide this photo of my son and I in the middle. So it's going to actually cross the two layouts. As you can see, it's cut just a little bit there in the middle. And then these two photos, one's going to go on the left and one's going to go on the right. And they kind of look like they go together like a, what do they call that? A panoramic photo. But it's actually two photos. One was a little closer to the edge, and then so you could see over the mountainside. And then the other one is just me giving my son a kiss, who was 13 at the time. So, of course, he wasn't all about the mom kisses, at least not in public. Um, but we did it anyways. And these papers here are from another Close to My Heart collection, and I'm going to use those as like a sky background. My youngest son came in and he's like, that looks like the ocean, which it does kind of look like the ocean, but we don't live by the ocean, we live by the mountains. So I decided to go ahead and use it on the layout that I had photos for, and I'm okay with that. I have tons of papers in my stash, and it's okay. Use them when you can. So that's going to be the background paper, and then the bottom half of it probably, or it won't be showing because it's going to be covered up by the shakers and by stickers. And I actually get 3 border stickers on this layout, 2 at the bottom and 1 at the middle. So it's going to be, I really like the way that this layout turns out in the end. So there you can see I did cut out the shaker process just because I totally messed up these shakers. One, my camera cut out in the middle of it anyways, but I really should have did it a whole different way, and I did it the hard way, but in the end it got done, so it's okay. In the yellow pieces, I should have cut probably like almost an inch bigger than what they are, but I'm going to make them work because that was all the yellow paper I had left. So I will make it work, but just know that it should have been bigger. But it's okay because, like I said, it works out. So here's the first two border stickers that I'm putting on. These are just black and white flowers, and I'm going to place them both on the left and the right directly at the bottom. And that's just going to give the large shaker pocket a place to rest at the bottom of the layout. I think I'll fill the shaker here in a minute. And I do only fill one side, and then magically the other side will be filled. Again, I struggled with this also. I didn't use my rules, which when you make a shaker, make sure your foam pieces go from end to end. As you can see, if you look to the right-hand side of the O, you can see there's two openings at the top corners. One at the top, one at the bottom of the corner of that paper. And it's not sealed. So when I go to lift it, sequins are going to fall out. Luckily, only a few fell out, and I was able to just put them back in and seal it up. So here I'm adding the sequins with the little spoon that Spiegelmom Scraps has available on her website. And it's perfect for filling shaker pockets because you can just spoon out a little bit at a time and put it where you want it. It's a little bit easier because you don't have so much falling on top of the foam tape as you're putting it in the shaker. So here, I think I'm still adding the Shoreline, and then I will bring in, this is Excape Artist. And I already added Peach Fizz. I'm actually all out of Peach Fizz. I used it all up on this layout. And again, I'm okay with that. I have a couple of other orange packs that are kind of sort of the same, but not really the same. So it's okay. I'm totally okay with using up my stuff. Here I'm just placing a couple of dots, and I'm going to put some sequins on the background paper. That's just so that when it's in the album, it'll still look like it has something at the top, because all the sequins are going to fall to the bottom, or majority are going to fall to the bottom. So I'm just doing that, and I just did a little bit of liquid glue, Scotch tacky glue, and then place them down. And as you can see, the yellow paper fits, but it's like very snug. It should have been probably a quarter of an inch, at least a half an inch bigger than it is. But it's okay. I'm going to put washi tape on it and seal it shut. So after I put my sequins back in and fill my holes that I left, oops. So remember, when you're creating the shaker pocket, use the foam tape all the way around. And I did use the Big Mama foam tape, so this one's a little bit on the thicker side, but I like the Big Mama foam tape when I do cut files. It works really well. And I also had the Terran tape from Spiegelmom Scraps. She also sells that, which is great for making sequin pockets or shakers. So here I'm going to go ahead and attach it down on the layout, and voila, that one is done. And so I will do the let's part, and then I'm actually going to fast forward. It's done. I'm going to put the back on it, and it will be, I need to seal it shut with the washi tape like I did on the other one. And then I will attach it to the left-hand side. And pretty much that's going to be it for the shaker pockets. So I do have another video that shows how to create an actual shaker pocket if you've never done one before. This one is definitely probably on the more difficult side as far as shaker pockets go, because I added the photo, I added, the shaker, it's in a cut file, so it was kind of a little bit of a task to create, but it's definitely worth it because I love the end result. So There we go. Have one on the left, one on the right. And then here I'm going to add the green paper at the top. And again, splitting it right down the middle because I'm going to have one photo on one side, one on the other side. These were 4x6 prints. I did cut them down just slightly, probably like maybe 1/4 of an inch or so on the one side, and then lined them up. And they are backed on white cardstock also. So I'm going to lay those down, and then when I lay down the other border sticker of the trees, I realized that they're actually not in the right place. They should have been down just a little bit further. When I'm doing the video, I have to push the layout away from me a little bit. So I didn't really notice it until I'm cutting off the trees and I look at it and realize that it's actually up a little bit too high. But I'm going to go ahead and put the trees down. Sorry, my head is in the way. And then I will move them down just slightly. And they actually came up fairly easy. Once again, I'm usually afraid I'm going to tear the close to my heart paper because it is a little bit on the thinner side, but it held up really well. So I just moved it down slightly, moved this one down, much better. I don't think in the video you can even tell what I'm talking about, but it wasn't lined up with the orange border that you see around the cut file letters at the bottom. So I made sure that I lined it up, and then now I'm going to embellish. So I have all the little clouds cut. I think I cut 9 clouds, or not 9. I don't know how many clouds I cut. I think I ran the die through 3 times. I didn't break the clouds apart. As you saw, they were all attached together. I think there's 5 or 6 on there. And I think I ran it through 3 times. So how many ever clouds that gave me, I used every single cloud on this layout that I cut. So I went ahead and put one at the bottom right there of the trees because when you're this high up in the mountains, you literally are in the clouds. Um, the the clouds are definitely like eye level with you, which is really cool and really scary at the same time. The view is amazing though, and if you ever get the chance to, go to the top of a mountain without climbing it, of course, if you can just drive to the top like this one, do it because it is just an amazing experience. I had been to the Pikes Peak before as a child, but this was the first time I had been back as an adult, and this was the first time my son had ever been there. I do plan on taking my younger son maybe this summer. I haven't decided if we're going to go this summer or not. But if we do, I will definitely be taking pictures, and it will be the first time that he's there. Um, since I'm not with friends, or if I don't go with friends, I'll have to drive myself up and down the mountain. Going up isn't bad. It's coming back down that's hard. At least for me. But I do have a CDL, so I should be able to do it. But it's still going up the side of a mountain, so we'll see how that goes. But here you can see I'm adding the clouds around. I added loving this view at the top on the left hand side. And then I added the bird that says wild and free across it, which makes the title kind of tilted. That is in the sketch. In the sketch, she has like a tilted title going through the layout. It's a single photo or a single page layout. I made it into a double page layout. She also has a border going across the middle, and then she has one photo at the top and one photo at the bottom. So I kind of did the same thing. I added one more photo though, since this is a double page layout. And of course I added the 2 large shakers. So roughly it's the same as the sketch, but different. The trees were also cut from the same paper as the cloud paper. It was the opposite side, except for the darker green trees that I'm putting down right now, one I already put down on the left-hand side. That was actually from the same paper that is the Photomat's photos at the top, the green paper. I used that again to make the smaller trees for the embellishments. So I cut that tree in half at the bottom by go, just because I didn't want that big large tree to take up the whole O. I still wanted to see some of it, but I like the way that it looks. And then this little mountain that I just put down says adjust your altitude, which I thought was pretty cool because we are at a very high altitude when you go to the top of Pikes Peak. And then um, the little brown label at the bottom says, let's go to the mountains. So the title is Let's Go to the Mountains. The bottom part says Go to the Mountains, obviously. A little repeating there, sorry. Here I'm just adding extra sequins. This was all I had left of the Peach Fizz, so I'm just pulling out the little orange ones and adding them in random little spots. I tried to be kind of random with it and not really count them, just place them down where I thought they looked good. And it gave little pops of orange. And I'm going to put a few more of those down, and then I think that's all I was able to get down. I had a few of them left. I went ahead and just put them in the Excape Artist one since it has orange in it also. And now I'm doing the Shoreline ones, and again, I'm just randomly placing them down around the layout. And I'm almost done. I'm going to come in and add in a few more stickers. They're the plus sign stickers that were on the sticker sheet, and they're just little tiny plus sign stickers. And they come in the blue, the green, and a darker blue, I believe. So there's 3 colors, so I added 3 over by the loving this view in the trees, and then I add 3 more over by the wood grain circle and the go mountain part. The wood grain circle I added because at the end of the tree line it kind of just looked like it was going nowhere, and I didn't want to add another tree up there since I have trees down below on go. So I decided that little wood grain circle from one of the Close to My Heart sticker sheets was perfect to put there. And I could always add our names and dates on there. I'm not sure the journaling will actually go on there. I do have another layout that will be a 2-page layout that will have journaling. So I'm not too worried about journaling as far as that goes, but I can put just our names and dates on there, and that'll work well. So here, this is where I'm adding the little plus signs, and then I will be done. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I should see you tomorrow with the Color Rush Studio layout. And this again is for Spiegelmom Scraps, and I have all of her information down below. Also, Miranda Webber, go ahead and check out her sketchbooks. She has 3 different sketchbooks available, and I will have her links down below also. So you can go and check that out and pick up one of her sketchbooks. She has some really awesome sketches. And I'll be using another one later in the month. And that little sticker there that I added last was just a set of 3 little trees, the same as the border sticker that's up top. I'm just going to shake little shakers for you. I need to figure out how to get into screen a little bit better. Unless I stand up, I can't really see my camera angle. So it's kind of hard to remember where to actually move them so you guys can see them up close. But hopefully you enjoyed and you like the process and you like the layout that I created today. And I will see you guys later.